What's up, YouTube? How is everyone doing? I hope you're having an amazing day, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be. I hope you're having an awesome, amazing day today. I sure am. I'm about to get into doing some animal care, taking care of some of the snakes, or taking care of Arbok, and taking care of Joker here, my baby Savannah monitor that you might have seen in the other videos, my previous video, to show you guys and introduce you to him. So today's video is basically just going to be me taking care of a couple animals, not all of them really today. It's not going to be really all in one video because a lot of them have already been taken care of for today. But I wanted to give you guys an update on Joker, get to possibly see some feeding with him. Don't want to give it up because I don't want to spoil it, and give Joker actually his first bath. So I just wanted to give you guys a cool little video with Joker and with Arbok, my false water cobra. So let's get right into it. Giving Joker here his very first bath. Baby Savannah monitor I showed you guys in the last video. If you look on the top of his head, it's a little bit harder to see because the lighting right now, it is nighttime right now. But I gave him the name Joker because he has, I kid you not, an actual smiley face on the top of his head. And so I thought the name Joker would be like perfectly fitting for him. And so giving him his first bath, give him a little bit of a soak. He is a little bit on the edgy side for handling wise, which I wouldn't complain about or be surprised because him being a baby, they do get sketched out pretty easily. So he's been hissing a lot. When I first got him for the first couple of days, he was very much defensive. If he went to bite, he would just run. But working with him now, he's gone a lot better. Still a little bit skittish, but that's okay because we're still working on it. And the cool thing with monitor lizards, all animals really, but especially monitor lizards with how intelligent they are, you can get them to do basically a bond with them. They can recognize who you are, your voice, all sorts. And it's really, really cool because that's when you can actually do amazing, very, very cool things with them. And here, I'll show you. This is actually my first time holding him. There we go. Look at that. See, just like that, all it is just a little bit of patience. And just over time, they'll just get right used to you. And just over time, he'll start to bond and trust me to the point where I can do different things of training with him. Like you see me do with Turbo, where he recognizes his name. I can get him to come to me and do a hold where I can get him to go on his back legs, stuff like that. It's just all about over time and just being committed with it. It's really all it is just a game of patience with them. And that's all it is. It's awesome. And it's going to be really cool seeing him grow up. Like I said, they'll get up to about 3 to 5 feet long, about probably 10 pounds, maybe a little bit more. They're not super heavy lizard species, but they're super cool. They look like dragons when they're full grown because of how thick layered their scales are. And if you look on his back too, you'll see how super, super bright his dots are, like a pure white color. When they're actually first hatch, that's the natural color that they have. And as they get older, the patterns will change, the colors will change, all of it. Some will retain the pattern, some will retain the color and stay the same, but most of the time it will change. Just like us, we look a lot different older than we did when we were little kids, but it's really cool. You can tell with how pure white of a color his dots are, and his pattern's such a very solid. It doesn't really break up a lot. It's not like unpredictable. It's almost a very an exact pattern to where it's not messed up. It's fully aligned. That's when you can tell that he's still a baby. I wouldn't really say hatchling because I've had him for about almost 2 weeks now, and he was probably maybe a week or two. I wouldn't even say any more than 2 weeks old when I first got him. So when I did first pick him up, he was probably a hatchling, but now he's just kind of considered a baby, probably a little bit over a month old at most. So up next, I'm trying to see if he'll take some food with me on camera. Lately, he hasn't really been doing that because he's still kind of getting used to being in this enclosure and kind of been a shy eater, but look at that. Oh, so what I'm feeding him right now are called giant mealworms. Now, these are awesome things to feed this species of lizards in particular. Now, the Savannah monitors, they are what you call insectivores, so their main diet consists of insects. So crickets, worms like giant mealworms, waxworms, hornworms when they get bigger, stuff like that. On a very, very rare occasion, they'll eat rodents because of how fatty they are, and they will actually eat eggs out in the wild, which most monitor lizards do anyways. And sometimes I can actually supplement some of his food diet with cut up pieces of chicken when he is bigger. So right now I'm giving him some giant mealworms, which are a great source of protein for him and calcium. So not just is it going to help him with getting size and growing, but it also helps with bone development, so he doesn't have any basically dysfunctions, or I'm trying to think of the word, but I'm brain farting, but his bones aren't, getting all messed up. They're properly developing and growing and becoming basically bigger and stronger. And at the same time, the calcium and the other nutrients actually helps them with teeth development, because believe it or not, fun fact about monitor lizards is that they have an endless supply of teeth. So whenever they lose one tooth, they automatically grow one back, and they don't have any sort of limited supply to it. It's pretty cool. Here's kind of a part to another worm I'm giving him. Let's see if he picks up on it. Oh yeah, look at that. He's gonna go for the kill shot. Ooh. So him being a baby, he is still kind of in the process of learning how to kill and hunt things down. Now, when you notice, you'll see that with monitor lizards, they do have a split tongue, and that's actually to pick up scents in the air. Just like a snake, they use that for direction to see where food's coming from, or what scent in the air that they're picking up is coming from what direction. So if it's a predator and they pick up that scent, they know and can figure out with that split tongue to see what direction they're coming from so they can avoid them. Or if it's some sort of food or prey, they can pick up on that scent to find the direction to go and hunt for food. And the reason what gives them the ability to do that is actually because of the fact that with snakes and monitor lizards, animals that have that split tongue, they have what you call a Jacobson's organ. And so what this Jacobson organ does is that it gives them the ability to take those scents that tongue is tracking and picking up in the air, and it gives them the ability to process and use those scents and process what scent they're picking up, whether it's food, predator, competition, mate, whatever it may be. That Jacobson organ picks up on it. And you may be wondering, how does it pick up on it? Because of, if it's just a tongue, where it's at, stuff like that, how does that work? So the Jacobson organ is like this special little organ that's located right in the top of their skull, kind of like right where their brain is, above the roof of their head, roof of their mouth. And so inside of their mouth, they actually have these two holes at the top that their split tongue actually fits perfectly into, like an indentation. And so when they flicker that tongue and it picks the scents up in the air, that tongue goes right back into their mouth, and it pushes those scents through that hole, or through, the holes of their mouth, of the roof of their mouth. And that indentation, they push their tongue up to that roof, and it sends those scents up through that little tunnel that they have into the Jacobson organ, which starts to process and utilize what scents they're picking up, like it's food, predator, stuff like that. Now, how does it work scientifically exactly? I don't know how it does on a scientific way. I don't know how it works, but I know that that's the process of how it goes about to be able to function, to be able to work. And I'm gonna see real quick if he'll be able to take another worm from me. So he might actually take another mealworm for me. If he does, yep, this will be his third one that he's taking, which is awesome because, like I said, being insectivores, their main diet consists of insects. And so him being a baby, he's basically, I'm going to be trying my best to keep a consistent feeding schedule of feeding him about once every other day. And this is perfect too because it gives him enrichment. As you can see, he's trying to hunt and find it. The worm's going under him, so he's trying to find a way to get a hold of it. Absolutely love this guy. I'm so happy I'm able to get one into my collection. They're such awesome and amazing animals, and they're super, super cute and awesome, very docile. There he goes. Look at that. Oh, how cool is that? Sorry if it seems like I'm whispering or messing up on my words. I'm trying to kind of stay a little, wow, like again, can't even talk, but sorry if it sounds like I'm being quiet or I'm messing up on my words. I'm just trying my best to not speak too loud because I don't want to startle him, and I would like to try to get some footage of him eating for you guys so you can see up close how cool these guys are, and just just try and get a good feeding video for you guys of this beautiful man. There he goes. Well, there's your feeding for him. He's doing amazing. As you can see, he has a little bit of a pot belly. I just got done, like you saw before, giving him about a 20-25 minute soak, so he's nice and hydrated. And I'm gonna let him sit here and bask, and on to the next animal that we're feeding today. Next up, I got Arbok. Arbok, for those of you who haven't seen him yet, is my baby false water cobra. Now with false water cobras, they got the name false part because they are not from the true cobra family. They are not what you call an elapid. They actually come from the colubrid family, hence the name false. And the water aspect too is because they are semi-aquatic snakes, and so they're known to be typically found on land terrestrial, but also they will swim through water a lot, and they are known to be very, very, very good swimmers. Now these guys do have a venom. It's not a venom that you think like a cobra, where if you had bit me I would have to go to the hospital. Now Arbok's venom here, he's what you call a rear fang venom. Now there are multiple different types of envenomation styles of how it's done. Now with most venomous snakes, it's called front fixed fangs. So the two fangs that are in the front of their mouth are what they use to envenomate. But Arbok here is what you call a rear fang venom. So he uses the teeth in the far back of his head. Try to see if I can focus on him. On the far back of his head, or far back of his mouth, I should say, to be able to envenomate. So since they're in the far back of his mouth, for him to envenomate, not just would he have to bite, but he would have to chew. Now, him being a baby right now, currently, he's not big enough for him to do that to me. But older he gets and the bigger he gets, he definitely could. Now, his venom won't do really anything to me. It might be a little bit of irritation, might be a little bit of a burn, but nothing too bad. Now, if you are allergic to venom, that will affect you a lot differently. Now, it depends on how allergic you are. I know some people who are just a little bit allergic to where it only affects them mildly, with just a little bit more irritation. Might have to put some kind of cream on there and take a couple painkillers because it might have more of an aching, burning sensation to it. But I also know people who are heavily allergic to where it could be EpiPen, hospital visit. So it depends. Now, if you are allergic to venom and you do have these guys, or say you were to come across them or handle them, like I doubt you would out in the wild unless you live in like Belize, Venezuela, Guatemala, I believe, and some areas of Argentina. Now, with this species, if you are allergic, I would be careful. If I, say, for example, were to be allergic, sorry, I'm kind of filming by myself right now. If you were to be allergic to this species, you gotta be super careful, because not just will his symptoms of venom affect you a lot more, but it could also potentially put you into anaphylaxis shock. So that's when your body gets overstressed and overstimulated from that envenomation, the proteins in that body is having that allergic reaction, and it can actually cause your body to seize out and basically pass out where you can't move. Now, I doubt this species could do that unless you are super highly allergic to them, but as you can see, Arbok here, super sweet, very docile, especially for being a baby, and because of that, I have nothing to worry about. And let's get right into him feeding. So that's going to conclude the rest of today's video. I thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please, if you haven't already, it would mean a lot to me if you liked, subscribed if you haven't already, and turn on that notification bell so you can get some more notification pop-ups of when I upload. If you guys want to see any extra content with these animals, go check out my Instagram or my TikTok, which are both the same as my YouTube name, Nile Ninja. I thank you guys for watching and have a good, amazing rest of your day.